Hello and welcome back to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Just a moment here. I'm having some slight. Try that. No, I'm having some slight audio issues. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen, live TV here. Just working this out. Alright, thank you. I am back. Having a little issue. I turned down the microphone a little bit for joining somebody else's game stream, and all of a sudden, I couldn't hear myself on my own streaming setup, which, when you're trying to do the streaming and everything and you cannot hear yourself, is a little tricky. Anyway, we are coming back to our owl today. Let's go ahead and get rid of the coming soon because we want to take a look at what we've got still. We get this portion up here, which I'm just planning, I think, in doing in blues and greens, maybe throwing an orange in there or something bright red. We've got this part here around the eyes. Well, it's actually down here more. On both sides. And then we have, and this is going to be a little trickier to show. There we go. Then we have like this feather section and ribbon on the side. Now I've got close to 45 markers lined up by numerical order because that was my plan, to just take and say, okay, the next one in order, even if the color is very similar, just put that in the next spot. I'm planning on taking these sides and mirroring them. So like marker number 1 goes here and just kind of work up. There's going to be, since they're not completely symmetrical, there's going to be a little bit of a variance in that. And at the same time, I'll take this stripe here on the side and this stripe here on the side, and while I'm doing the feathers bottom to top, I'll be doing these stripes top to bottom. And then this base around the eye, what I'll do is I will start center with the first color, and then I will go out one on each side with each successive color, so it will be mirroring each other, kind of. Once again, not a symmetrical image, so there's going to be some variance, but this around this way is going to kind of match this coming up from the bottom. Now in the middle of doing all of that, I'm going to be throwing some tunes your way, a little bit of chat if I see folks out there. I had a thought of doing this just singing all bad songs, you know, songs to annoy instead. Would kind of match my personality a little bit. I can be a nuisance at times. But no, we are going to go back to our favorite plays in these streams, the public shows from Straight No Chaser, since those are pretty low on the copyright claim stuff, and then authorized performances from Peter Hollins, which I do get a few copy claims on those, but the only ones that I don't contest are actually managed by the company that manages the rights to his music, and I'm not monetized anyway. It's his stuff. They're managing it. I'm not going to make a big deal, especially when no money's involved. But that's kind of where we are, hoping to finish the owl not too far into the stream. Fingers crossed on that. And I do mean fingers crossed. And then if we get that done early enough, I will be switching gears and pick up something that I streamed quite a while back now in the off and on art stream and other stuff around here. And that is... pick up the loaded game I have on Minecraft hardcore mode. And the reason why that's so tricky is hardcore mode, you die, you're done. So survival, this isn't like die, you respawn at a bed or a random save location or something like that and just keep on building. You do your building and construction and everything until something manages to kill you, and then your game is done. It adds a different degree of challenge and fun to it. So without anything else on that, unless one of the laser cats decides to suddenly make an unexpected appearance, we'll call that a no. We will go ahead and we will get a little bit of Straight No Chaser lined up and then get on with our marker because we definitely want to finish this today. Finishing this today would allow me to take and list this either over the weekend or Monday on eBay, because if you remember, the goal is to sell this with the proceeds going to a family that is currently absolutely zero income due to coronavirus and quarantines and lockdowns, and hopefully make it possible for them to pay their rent, their basic bills, and keep food on the table for a while longer. That's my goal. If the right people get into a bidding war on it, that should be easily doable, but we'll see. I just have to take a moment now and grab my audio. One other thing I might do somewhere in here, I do still have the sound for the next creepypasta video. It's just a real short clip. The issue I'm having is finding the right graphics for it. What I might do is take and play it sometime in here. I will give you warning, because if you're not into creepy videos, this one is not mildly humorous like what was it, 742 or 754 or 764, something, whatever that one was that had a nice twist at the end. This one definitely creep you a little bit more. So fair warning, if I play that, I will let you know, and I'll basically be like, hey, mute it, come back in 2 minutes, it will be done. It's a very short so without further ado, just lining up a trying to line up a couple of items if the computer does not go crazy on me. Once again, live TV, folks, live TV. There we go. Now it's letting me do something. And this time I'm not looking for any specific things. I'm just taking some from Straight No Chaser live performances. At least they should be live performances. and we're gonna run those. Then we'll hop over to some Peter Hollins, and then maybe a little bit of a mix of the two, see what we can get. I'd show you all these caps, but you can't really. That picks up pretty quickly. I'd show you all these caps, but it's not really going to show through clearly, and it does look like the audio flips, or the video flips a little bit. And not really going to get good detail on the screen, so I'm not going to pick each one of them. But we are starting with number 1, which is labeled Red Wine. I'm going to go to number 2, which is Old Red, and just move right up the list. I will try to keep the part that I'm doing on the screen by bouncing it back and forth. It's my point to try and remember that everything doesn't easily fit on the screen at the same time, and pay attention to that. We'll see how well I do. Once again, live TV.
There are dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Oh no, they just escaped. The power went out, setting them all free. Run for your life.
And let me know in the comments if the music's kind of soft. Sounds softer to me than usual.
1, 2, 3. Disney movies set the bar with stories that are bizarre, expensive toys that kids desire will bankrupt you. I have catfished a girl. I'm scheming, pretending, but don't tell Princess that I'm a street rat and truth we can hide. I just met a great guy, but will my father approve of him? He's arranged my marriage to Jafar, which makes me want to cry. It's an unfair world. Heaven's not conversation. Just take it very far away from Agrabah. Even though I barely know you, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. And my tiger too. But then he'll eat my face in Aladdin Part 2. Out in France lived a prince who was super arrogant. An enchantress put a spell on him, his face would make you wince. Found a girl named Belle, only chance to break the spell. Locked in his castle forever. Stockholm Syndrome now or never. Talking clock, talking candle, might shout too much to handle, and the service here is getting quite insane. They'll fill you up with free blood, but they charge for Wi-Fi and express. And in express, as a guest, forever is yours. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Too bad that all of it's wet and moldy. Wouldn't you think she's the girl who ruins everything? But who cares? No big deal. She wants more. She's trying to be where the people are. But her dad really hates those humans. Also be hard without those. What's that word? Oh, feet. But Ursula made a deal for her voice, which would cause any man to rejoice. But how do they sing under the sea without gurgling?
two things that you may have noticed pretty quickly. I'm running out of dots up in here. Well, this still has several more. I am just going to follow around. So now that I've run out right here, I'm going to skip over to this while this finishes up. It is going to give it a little bit imbalanced, and it's gonna mess with the people like me who might notice the kind of thing, but I'm okay with that. If I run out of colors before I completely go through, I am keeping these in order. So what I'll do is, if I run out of colors, I'll just start taking them backwards, order. The other thing you may have noticed, mostly I'm trying to go with bottom to top, outward to inward on these feathers. So once again, there's going to be a little bit of variance because it's not a symmetrical image, but at least it gives a pattern, albeit a pattern that might not work well for people that are particularly prone to matching colors and orders and everything like that. People like me. We'll see.
Good evening, everyone. Please welcome to the stage Atlantic Records recording artist Straight No Chaser.
Creepy, soft, hiding in the shadows, makes girls sing using lots of vibrato. Is he there to hurt her or be her vocal teacher? And why does it only happen late at night? How did this ever seem alright? Henry, this show causes me agony. Not to
to mention my allergies. All these cats all around.
Yes, it's misery. Men and women dressed up as cats. This is memories will fade away. 525,000 choirs have sung this. 525,000 versions were bad. Everyone in Renton was dying or homeless. Thanks to the writer, we all got sad. I need a We gotta get off these drugs. I need a Come here close, I need a hug. Seasons of love. This song will be stuck in your head. That's your bottom dollar. Tomorrow it'll be stuck. Annoying. This song is annoying. We're singing it anyway. We're at war. Another day across our country. Instead of fighting, we just dance and sing. I don't think that helps anyone, but obviously it's way more fun. Did you see the new movie? Who was in charge of casting? Everyone can sing. Why did they choose Russell Crowe? Why did they think he could sing? Sing, he was awful. He should never sing again. This is Auto-Tune can't save you now. Did they not mean what can? The end is near. We're at war. This revolution, 'cause our military sucks. We don't have any genuine anyone has ever learned to use a gun. We'll lose this war, but we'll be sure to nail this choreography. For Broadway, one day more.
Welcome back, Kyler, from the apocalypse wasteland out there. Yeah, it might be a little bit of a hyperbole, but not that much. I actually made a little bit of a grocery run myself this morning, and as you said, your governor isn't a power-mad female-type person, so you're not as restricted as souls up there in South Canada or Michigan. No, Michigan, say, Canada is northern Upper Peninsula is what that is. Apart from, like, Ontario, which is far east Detroit. Considering Trudeau, it might actually be far east, Middle East, Detroit. Yeah, I try not to be too political on this channel, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going out there, and there's definitely a lot of resources to see if you want to look at into any of it. One of the guys I follow, Matt Christensen. I can speak, I promise. I do it for a living. Well, not so much anymore. I do more chat than talking nowadays. But yeah, it's part of my job to speak. So really, I can do this. And this little bit is scripted. It takes a lot of effort to make this seem spontaneous. But Matt Christensen does a lot of really good videos on political and news commentary. I've got a lot of respect for him because he's got a consistency that a lot of commentators lack. And if it turns out he's wrong on something, he will take and publish his correction and retraction as openly, broadly, and with as much priority of position as he broadcasts the original story. So you're not going to get like page one above the fold primary channel broadcasting the story, and then the correction is in the back of the editorial section at the bottom of the third to last page. Now he's very consistent about that. Actually loves the challenge in the Arena of Ideas. Of course, you got Scribe Light, Satsu 2 Cents, and Ranting Monkey. They have their own approaches to it, but you gotta love that the guys are consistent. Windsor was basically Canadian Detroit. That's pretty close to it. I'll tell you, it's Matt's really a good one to listen to, even if you don't want to get into following his live streams with Blonde, which are twice a week. But he otherwise, generally speaking, does a video on Monday or Tuesday and then one on Friday or Saturday about a current topic. He does his legwork and all of that. So, I mean, I strongly support his efforts and approach. He is a much better journalist than anything CNN tries to present. Now, the interesting thing, when I was at the store today, they didn't have any barrier to picking up things in the garden center, so one must presume that they make a deal of it at the checkout instead, because I was looking at it, they have things like the seed packets and everything that have definitely been prohibited in a store of that size. Also, people still about 50-50 on masks and everything. There were no wild Karen attacks and no extra crazy stuff there. I've got my wild Karen plan, but I haven't encountered one yet, which is probably a good thing. I throw some me singing in, like, primarily, of course, as I not the right channel. You can make whatever comment you want to. I just might not get too much into the political discussion, because that's not what this channel is for me. The channel that I have, which does not have much on it yet, for political discourse specifically, and man, I do need to make another video for it, is even further removed from aspects of my identity. At least I hope so. Although some people know who I am. But yeah, my employer isn't going to fire me for anything I do on social media like that. They've got a very good social media rules as far as that goes and everything. But at the same time, I'm trying to spare them from being attacked by the outrage mobs for employing a terrible person like myself. Is this volume coming through to you good enough? Because I tell you, it's not playing very loud for me, and that's kind of unusual.
So we got some help for this one. Our very good friend with two first names, the wonderfully talented Morgan James.
Low but recognizable, and see if I can't get it up just a little bit more. Take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. It's alright to choose it. This is your life to choose it. This is your life. This is your song. White people, sing it! Take it. It's love. We're gonna take it. We're not gonna take it. The output on the music player itself was turned down for some reason.
I didn't do it.
Whoa.
see your Bruce Springsteen one last time and raise you one, a John Bon Jovi. I need some help singing though, it's been a long run. It's all the same, only the need for change every day. It seems we're wasting away another place where the faces are so cold. I travel all night just to get back home. 'Cause I'm a cowboy on a steel horse side, and I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or
It's time to work on the die. The human day on strike. He's down rolling his lucky down. Oh, so good. She knows that her old working for a man. She brings home a faithful love. She says we gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. Come on, sing with me. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, I'm living on a prayer. Take my hand, and we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer, living on a prayer. Shot through the heart, and you're too late. Time that you give up, bad me, bad me. You play my card, and you play your game. You give up, bad me, bad me. You give up. We gotta hold on, ready or not. You live for the right when that's all that you got. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, and we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer, living on a prayer.
Yeah, that's a very weird thing is remakes of specific songs are rarely as good as the original. I mean, very rarely. But then you've got all of these amazing covers out there where the performer is making no money on it, or they're only making money on small bar performances or something like that. And it's just, you can't believe some of the sound that's out there. Once my guitar arrives, which should be sometime in the next 4 weeks in theory, I might try assembling a cover. It wouldn't be an altogether performance. Now, I'm going to have to take a look at that Alien Ant Farm because a cover of Smooth Criminal would be interesting. There's this a cappella artist. I got to find him again. I know he shows up like in my playlist on my phone. He does these where it's anywhere from 16 to 40, 35, something like that. Little windows in the screen that he sings a different part to. He does fully a cappella performance, including like beatboxing and vocal percussion and everything, just no instruments of songs. He's got this really amazing I gotta kill that he's got this really amazing Michael Jackson there's that again, live TV, ladies and gentlemen. He's got this really amazing Michael Jackson medley that he does that includes things like, dang it, includes things like the Smooth Criminal and Black and White and all sorts of different stuff. It's really amazing. I have to see if I can find his name again so you can hear some of what he does. Metal cover. Metal cover might be interesting. Now the guitar I'm getting is actually, it's kind of a MIDI controller, so it would be able to do metal and acoustic covers, as well as other instruments. So I'm thinking of if it will have a ukulele voice available. This guy, I can't remember his name either. He does a ukulele bit where he does the Jared Haley. Haley. No, yeah. Yeah, he's good for that one. Some of the other stuff that he does is amazing. He's got one, I'm Hooked on a Feeling, where he dances around dressed up like Star-Lord. Some of the bits he does in it, he's wearing the helmet mask thing too. So it is just hilarious to watch, and really good performance to listen to as well. I'll have you know that is also why I ended up getting even worse grades in speech. Yes, I nearly failed my speech class. Now you can see why. Now, I'm sure Kyler could tell you that there is a huge difference, and it takes confidence to do this, or a little bit at least, or willingness to put yourself out there, but there's a huge difference between putting yourself out there online on a stream and standing up in front of a crowd. Given the two, I will stream all day, every day of the week. Now we're getting close to the end of the markers, because I'm not planning on doing all of the gray tones, because I got a bunch of warm grays, cool grays, green grays, blue grays. I'm thinking of taking maybe one or two of those only, and I'm not going to do the black. So I've got 3 colors left from my original sort. Well, 3 colors left added to my original sort. Correct a slight lisp. Yeah, I had to have speech therapy because I couldn't say L's. I think I could say R's, but I couldn't say L's. Probably the most effective instructor I had between kindergarten and 2nd grade, apart from one of my 3 first grade teachers. Yes, that was 3 first grade teachers in the same school, in the same school year. We had like one get sick and retire, one came in and then got married and left, and then the one that finished out the year. That was an adventure. The middle one was probably the best teacher I had in a public school. Yes, I have these strange experiences in my life. Okay, so we're gonna grab a little bit of Peter Hollins now. You can tell, I love these performances. Couldn't possibly get in front of a crowd. Social awkwardness wouldn't allow it. I'm OCD, autistic, and a few other things, and I have been in a number of choirs, musical performances and plays, and also piano performances. Yeah, talking over the internet, whole lot different. But yeah, I've been on stage in front of crowds. Not always the easiest thing to do.
Firefly, dragonflies, hearing words in ancient time. Wake, wake from the grave, rise to set the world aflame. Night, night, endless night, terror is the only light. Bane, bane, rage untamed, darkness dwells in age-old blade.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, when you're performing part of a group and you can convince yourself that people are watching everybody else, not you, that's a little bit different. Been there too, but no, I've also been involved in like solo performance and primary character that people are definitely paying attention to. And it is a little different way to live when you're doing that. Not that I was living as an actor, but it's like, I gotta convince myself that I can do this and that the eyes on me don't matter. We are almost done with... Well, looks like we're pretty much done with the strips along the sides. I've got the feathers on the left side done. We're gonna have a couple of color overlaps on the right because I got 3 more, and I really can't split out 3 more colors from the bag I've got. Now I can look at my other thing of markers and see if there's anything that really stands out as potentially significantly different. Because, you know, always carry a spare. In this group, they're marked like RYBG for your shades of red, yellow, blue, and gray, or blue and green. And then there's things like S for black and a few other things. So let's see, 3 of them. Yeah, we're gonna do these 3 right here. Yeah, my age, learning to cope with things related to autism is how you survive, because there wasn't a lot going on for it. When I was a kid, they didn't have a lot of diagnoses and diagnostic tools and tests for stuff like that. If you were in the high functioning spectrum, you get thrown to the wolves, so to speak. And you learn to, it's a sink or swim environment there. You learn to cope, or you just kind of flounder and drown, and that is the life in a different time kind of thing. So now the only thing I really got going on is the rest of this around the eyes here, which we're going to take the same colors we've already run and run them backwards, because I'm running really low on variety now. Oh, don't want the wedge tip. And then I'm going to go ahead and, if I can find my mouse, we're going to kick it to the next song. 30, 40 year ago with treating the autistic spectrum, depending on, compared to how they do it today, I was pushed and encouraged to do a lot of things that somebody diagnosed with autism today, they would be more prone to trying to avoid that. And I do think it did a lot for character development, even if it was hard for me. Yeah, the only ones that were called autistic were the ones that couldn't cope with reality, had true high-end learning disabilities where they've got intellectually challenged, trying not to use specific words that YouTube and Twitter and the like don't like. But yeah, They reserved the label of autistic for the, if they gave it at all, for the short bus crowd. The people that truly had exceptional special needs, not just the everyday special needs. And that served me pretty well in our current apocalyptic times, so to speak, because I'm not panicking and I'm not freaking out and I'm not, well, I'd have gone to protest the governor, but I was working.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. If you find it's me you're missing, if you're hoping I'll return to your thoughts, I'll soon be listening, and in the road I'll stop and turn. Then the wind will set me racing as my journey nears its end, and the path I'll be retracing as I'm homeward bound again. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow.
When the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in
Yeah, a lot of the times you end up with, if you don't tell yourself you can't do something, you don't let somebody else tell you that you can't do something, you can often surprise yourself with what you can actually pull off. Now, it might not be easy, it might be full of anxiety and panic attacks while you do it and the like. But you can do amazing things if you just learn to cope with what you can cope with, learn how to work around and accommodate the stuff that you can't cope with. It's just, you can accomplish a lot if you take and approach it right, and you don't get yourself stuck down with what you're telling yourself you can't do, or with what people are telling you can't do. I mean, heck, you take me 20 years ago and say, yeah, you know, you'll be streaming video online doing artistic things of all of that, and you'll be talking to people at the same time. I'd have told you you were nuts. But here I am. And with that, here I am. This particular piece is done. It is ready to dry off. I've got a couple of spots. I might try seeing if I can clean some of the ink out of the leather, because I've got like this one spot of blue right here. Yeah, a few things where I'm going to see if I can't bleed and dab some of the color out from where it wasn't supposed to be in the first place. But otherwise, let's just get some really good light right here and just, you know, take that in a moment. And that's going to go into that nice black frame that I've got with the glass. And then I am going to work on getting a couple of good natural light photographs of it in the frame, write up a description, and try and list that on eBay to see if we can't make a little bit of money, because I got that one streamer that I'm thinking of, and his wife has been out of work for weeks now. He's not bringing in a terrible lot with his streams right now because everybody's financially struggling, and they just want to make sure they can pay the bills and everything. So that's my goal for that. Now, of course, the one thing that this one's got is, we flip it over, it's been LaserCat approved. And there you can see kind of the, that's what happens even with a good, a decent webcam. And what you're not seeing in there is the cat hairs on the back. But what I am going to do is going to find a pen here, and just down at this bottom margin here, this should be good enough as long as the ink is coming through. Test that. Yep. And we're just gonna take and go do a signature of Willet Forge down in the corner. Which I don't think is going to show with the frame on it, but that's okay. If the recipients really want to get into looking at that, they'll get it. And I am really happy with the way that this turned out. It's eye-catching. Let's take and throw the frame on it right now so we can show what the finished product is going to look like. And then the people that are on the Lords of the Night and Satsu 2 Cents Discord, it's going to have a post there when I list it on eBay. I got somebody on Twitter who's going to take and try and get the attention of some well-to-do people with it too, and see if I can't get this to sell to somebody who can, you know, definitely afford it and make the difference for that and cover the cost of postage and that at the same time. No matter what, I'm going to end up donating some of this to the whoever the recipient is, but I'm hoping to get just some basic, like the postage cost out of it. Okay, so I'm gonna try and turn the light off the camera and just go with side lit where most of the glare is off the screen. And this is what they're looking at, is black frame, glass on the front, glass on the back. It does cut the picture just a little bit, which doesn't make sense for the size it's supposed to be. And then when they look at the back, they get the LaserCat approved, and down there in the corner, just a little touch of the signature. Of course, I'm going to have to take and mess around a little bit so that the cat hair is minimized and the fingerprints minimized, but that's what's going to be listed. I'll get some good clean pictures of it in natural light and hopefully find somebody who wants it for a room or a desk or an office. Well, I know there's already at least one person interested in it for a room or a desk or an office, but it has a little bit of an issue on the bidding for it thing. This is what you get when you're pretending to be artistic, and then you got friends as well. Yes, I actually socially associate sometimes. Bad me. Anyway, I am going to take this moment right here, and I am going to go ahead and drop that creepypasta narration that I've been looking for. Oh, a little bit of a face reveal in the reflection. Well, you know what? I have not shaved since they have said, you shouldn't touch your face. And I have reached the point where the facial recognition in my phone doesn't recognize me. So, we'll pull the reflective material out, but I'm not super paranoid as long as the camera's not pointing directly at my face. So yeah, there's one or two people that might be listening and really don't do well with the creepy stuff. You should probably skip out the next, I think it's about 2 minutes. It's really not that long, but you wanna miss out on that, because it's definitely creepier than some of the ones that I've done. And well, I try to be nice to people. Just double check, see if they've got the length here. Come on, load up somewhere. Once again, live TV, folks. I decided to do this on the fly rather than prepping it beforehand. So it kind of has to load
Is
it
this
up.
how Bloody Mary came to be? By unavailable.
Okay, so it's 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So if you don't want to hear it, if you come back in 3 minutes, you'll be fine.
User. You know the nursery rhyme Bloody Mary, right? Well, I once stumbled upon a version of the nursery rhyme which made me think something. Something that could actually be true. I mean, it makes sense. The version I found is darker than the original, more so bloody. Here it is. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. She brought her lamb to school one day. The kids let out jeers. The children took her lamb away, and Mary choked on tears. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was red with blood. She took its little body home and swore she'd hurt them good. Mary knew that lamb's blood called things ancient, hidden, and deep. As Mary painted signs of old, never did she weep. Mary had a little lamb. It made her something scary. Now I dare you, look into a mirror and whisper, Bloody Mary. I think, in my opinion, that this is a possible theory how Bloody Mary came to be. I mean, it is most likely possible, if you think about each word. But that's my opinion. I guess it is true. People change up nursery rhymes and fairy tales to cover up the real dark truth. I mean, never mind. Just think next time about what you say to someone, or what you do, because this type of stuff is possible. I've seen it in the world, and it's not pretty, just sad. Thank you to the author, unavailable user. That's user with 3 R's. I've thrown a link to the story in the description. I appreciate the permission to do these narrations. If you enjoyed, go ahead and give a like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you've got a story you'd like to hear narrated, send me a note, submit a comment.
Well, you know the way those things finish out. Anyway, as I put in the notes early on this, we have got potential for some Minecraft in the hardcore mode, picking up the game that I had. So I'm going to take just a minute or two here to quick break and kind of bring that up.
take me home, country roads.
Hey! Oh, that was loud in there. Did you guys like that? Because I had a great time. Let me tell you a little something. This video was because you guys asked for it. The next Fallout's gonna be in West Virginia, so, you know, West Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an entire album out of The Greatest Showman. Now, you might have heard other people doing Greatest Showman songs, but this one is all a cappella, all amazing. You should give it a listen. You can listen down below.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly the words that it was for me, and the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the silence.
Hey, Hollins family, thank you so much for requesting this song.
There, I think we got it back on the screen. Let me know if the game volume is too high or too low. There is my last I think this is my last one from game streaming, so we'll see. Has to do its conversion to the new game format. So there we go. Yep, this looks right. Now, the last time we had a good start on this, we got a... remember the controls, actually. Nice little house, a little bit of a fenced-off area in front. And stuff that's very important for hardcore mode, because if the bad stuff can get to you, it can kill you. If you die, you are done. Oh, good. So I got some wheat here. So what we're going to take and do is we're going to try and get that cow inside our fence. Oh, cow. I'm going to do this quickly because... oh, come on. Inside. Inside. Because there's zombies out there. Oh, I may have just really done myself some harm. Talk about lucky. This isn't gonna last for much longer. There. Now I'm in pretty bad way now, so we're just gonna go ahead and take that block out so stuff can't get in. And we're gonna see what I have for food inside, because otherwise... Okay, so I think we can do something with that. No, because if I do that, I throw those. And I think that's why I was trying to be very careful about zombies. Upon more mature reflection, that wasn't the best idea I've had. Definitely not. Now, I'm pretty sure... I want to say I'm pretty sure I can't just die of hunger. That said, we do want to be careful. Oh, no, there's a skeleton. I can kill the cow instead of getting it in here. I think we just have to come back inside and wait out some of the things that we've got, because I have got to get a food source, which means either more wheat yeah, because that's more pumpkin seeds. And I gotta have 3 wheat for bread. Wait on saplings. Wait on sugar cane. And this is when a bed would be nice. Because I do not have even a clock to tell me where we are in the night. Okay, so he can't get in. So I can kill him for experience and stuff, but I gotta be careful because skeletons be that ranged attacker. And there's a zombie right over there by that tree. Yeah, I've been talking about doing like a Disney-esque narration for a monkey stream. I might need the same thing. Now, Will was just trying to get that cow for a little bit of steak, but obviously he didn't think all the details out. If somebody brings a bow, I'm screwed, yeah. Now, if I can wait out the night and the storm, as soon as daylight hits Mr. Skeleton, he fries just as quickly as the zombies do. And once he's fried, it is getting a little bit lighter, I think. So, yep. Now if it'll just stop raining. Oh, no, we got a witch over there, too. This could be really bad. Well, if I'm stuck inside, I'm going to at least make some charcoal, because it is, aside from lava, it's one of the most efficient and effective cook sources. Oh, did I have the... The other thing is to cut down a couple of those trees and see if they drop apples. Kill a couple of cows and cook the meat. I just have to get to rain has stopped, so the stuff around me dies off. That's another tree that's going to grow sooner or later. Oh. Hello, Zambi. Now, here's one nice thing. If I stand with my back right to my house, and he comes right up to the fence, I can whack him with the sword out of reach of him. But he's gonna come, like, right up to the fence. Experience doesn't help my health, but it'll help with other things later, if I live long enough. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna have to do one of those I will remember you. Do my true to form, either do a crazy seed for the next one, or a random seed. And keep it hardcore, which is an insanity I would never do in 7 Days to Die. Because 7 Days to Die, if you aren't pro, you're gonna die. So that one's gonna start falling apart to saplings, and if I'm lucky, a couple of apples. And that one's gonna start falling apart too. Then I'm gonna come over here. Kill the cow. And then run back to shelter, because now I've got everything I need to do a little bit of recovery. Well, one raw beef is better than nothing. Yeah, and unlike 7 Days to Die, Minecraft approached as a zombie apocalypse is survivable. Because you've got your resources. Sure, you got zombies, you got skeleton archers, you got the witches, you got the phantoms and everything, but they can't break through your shelter. Breaking into your shelter takes a player. So once you get the fence and walls and everything, you get your protection, you're good there. They've started dropping sticks. See, the things you learn when you don't play for a while. Got all those saplings. Bring back the axe, 'cause cut a tree while I've got the tree. Run through, I'll kill a couple more cows for some more beef, and then let them respawn. Come back here. I want steak, I tell you, steak. Spiders as well, huzzah. Yeah, but spiders spiders can get to parts of your shelter because they can climb. Now, I've got architectural tricks to keep them from getting on the roof of the house. It isn't as pretty as some things, but it's functional. And I'll take, I'll take your function over looks pretty any day, especially in an emergency situation. Does it work? Great. Oh, it doesn't look that pretty? Well, it works. That's kind of the important thing. Looking good and not working doesn't do squat for you. But the spiders are not aggressive during the daytime, even in hardcore mode. So you've got your flip side of protection there. I can stand here during the day if it's not raining and be safe from everything but witches. Because at this distance, even, well, if they're out there, I shouldn't even have a problem with creepers. Not blowing up, at least. I close that door, I'm safe from everything. Steak, yeah. Now, the key is, what I was going for earlier, and what I'm going to continue going for when stuff respawns and I'm a little healthier, I'm going to create a fenced-off area that I can get into easily, but is not easily escaped, and I will get to breeding the cattle so I have all the steak and leather I want. Because I'm crafty like that. Give me the right materials and let me go to town for something like that. Oh, helps to make sure the mouse is in the right window. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and fill up our hunger bar and try and heal the rest of the way. And then we're gonna take a look at if I've got enough materials to fence off an area for some actual excavation. And I might. Still looking pretty good around here. Since they're dropping sticks, grab the sticks they drop. Sticks are just one of the things that are life in Minecraft. Oh, I hate when the trees do this. So I'm just going to kind of leave that one sitting in the air for a while. Minecraft trees have developed anti-grav. Sorry for meeting there a moment. Unexpected need to sneeze and figured a lot better to go quiet and only scare the cats than to blow your eardrums out. Okay, and just like that, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make some fencing with gates. And I'm going to take an area probably over here and make a fenced off area for cattle. Then I will take an area, not right there, take an area over here and start fencing off an area for actually mining. Dig a basement. In Minecraft, I dig down to bedrock, I get my good mind set up, and I build the house basically from bedrock up, floor by floor. And as long as I keep the right light structure for that, speaking of light, it's getting dark. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do in one more cow. Come back here. I know. I'm not dealing with trees where it's like, I want to hug you. Yeah, I want to cut you with a stone sword until you fall over and render meat and leather. Oh, I so wish. He's got an enchanted bow. And then there's a spider and a creeper over there too. We're inside for the next little bit, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not crazy. Oh, darn it. I am crazy. But I'm not stupid. Yeah, chicken, get the wings too. I gotta say, while we're waiting out the night and crafting a few things, I have got a story on the chicken. See, because one Christmas, I made a family Minecraft server. Where I could be on it, and we didn't have that many computers, but I could play with at least one kid, sometimes two kids at a time, on the family Minecraft server. Now, I went and I took and set up a pit with some chickens in it. It was floored with hoppers. So every time they laid an egg, the egg was captured automatically. Now, using a series of hoppers, dispensers, and the like, I had it where it would channel that back up, and every egg would get shot into a block that would break it open. You either get nothing or you'd get a chick that would grow up into a chicken and lay more eggs. Instant egg farm, chicken farm. Now, because this was on a server, this ran even when there was no players playing. Well, I came back to my instant chicken farm, and it was so heavy with chickens and eggs. It was spitting out eggs as fast as the dispenser could fire them. You're basically getting a dozen chickens a second kind of thing, or thereabouts. It was just insane, and you just had to be within like couple hundred blocks of it and look in that general direction, and you just lagged to nothing. Server totally stopped responding kind of thing. It took me, I think, half an hour just to break one connection so it would stop dispensing new eggs and make the situation worse. And then I had to go and I had to kill off enough chickens so that all the lag and everything created by them went away. So I had chicken and feathers and eggs ready for months. It just happens you would walk away for a little while and the automatic process takes over. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna start with making a couple of gates. Oh, out of sticks. Let's make some more sticks. Because what I have is, if it's just for digging down for mining, I start out with essentially one gate entering the fenced off area. But when you're dealing with ranching, raising animals and everything like that, I do a 2 to 3 gate system for the obvious reasons of if I get in there and the critters that I'm trying to get contained get through the first gate, I can still keep them contained in the area without them escaping. Yeah, that was a rather insane experience there, where it just kind of blew my mind when I came back to that and like, oh, hey, this has all of this going on. Okay, so get more planks. Get as much fencing as I can with the current materials. I'm probably going to need more wood until you get really good wood sourcing. You don't run low on that, or you don't run heavy on that either. Yeah, stop making more when the storage is full. Now, anything automated that you have in Minecraft will stop making when it's full, but its definition of full can be a little bit different. And if you have something that's automatically generating chickens, it's never full. The server gets full, the game gets full, but the area that the stuff you're working with never gets full. Now, I do have to keep an eye on the time. I got about 15 minutes before I'm going to sign off so that I'm not in contest with Lords of the Night. You can tell I play a little bit too much 7 Days to Die and other stuff because I'm pulling up my menus when I try to, or pulling up my inventory when I try to open a door kind of thing. It's the remembering the differences in the controls. Looks like I got some good wheat over there, so once it's daytime, I'm going to have enough to make some bread, which is always nice. And I'll have the seeds to replant those and more, which is good. I'm going to have to deal with creepers. You have got to be kidding me. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creepers and a zombie in armor, it looks like. No, it's a skeleton. And creepers are always a bad day waiting to happen. And you heard that hiss, that's your phantoms. Anytime you're outside during the night, you might end up with them. Now, if you're aware of them and aware of when they're diving at you, and you're not on the end of your health, you can kind of do things to see. But they don't survive daylight any better than zombies or skeletons. Which means all the nasties over there, except for the creepers, are dying. This is about to get, shall we say, interesting. Before I do that, we're going to throw some things I don't need to be carrying into there, and we're gonna go ahead and eat up. Let's see, so there's our that should be ready. So we're gonna keep the sword on while we start this. With the creepers over there, I'm heading over here to the food, and hopefully no big problems. I know I can just punch them, but I actually like using the tools. And there's the trick, the hoe. You can hit your plants as much as you want to with the hoe, it doesn't wear it out. It's only when you're actually preparing new garden plots that your hoe gets worn out. Uh-oh, zombie. We're just gonna back off enough that he's gonna burn himself to death. Cause zombies be dumb in this game and take advantage of it when you can. I got all of these planted near water because that gives you your most fertile land and fastest growing. And those are going to go, that's pumpkins, that's pumpkins. We're going to do a bunch of wheat plants here again. Because that is an insanely self-sustaining food option. And when I get a little bit farther along in building my basement, I will set up some self-harvesting, not automatically harvesting, but self-harvesting indoor wheat farms. Flip a switch, it harvests them, flip a switch back, it's all set. We're gonna plant just a little bit more here. Yeah, I still need to do stuff in Monster Hunter. I wish I could count on Potato Clock for that, but I don't have any confidence that Potato Clock would be able to handle Monster Hunter, or I'd be shopping around and eventually join you on that if you wanted company. Instead, I've got to kind of go with what I can make advantage of for things. Part of me is hoping that I can pass muster and get vetted and join the Green Hell crew on stream, but then I look at it and say, how am I gonna I'm such a terrible person, how am I gonna pass muster on that? Well, we'll just take and keep on with the stuff that I do. See, and then the cows recover pretty quickly. And how we're gonna do this is we're just gonna take, for starters, and go right along this wall. because what we're doing is we're creating a self-collecting farm. At least have the potential of self-collecting. A cow can walk across this, fall off the fence, and then not be able to get back. Then we're just going to make sure that he can't get out the same way. And this is where you have to be careful where you put stuff because you run out. Okay, so we're going to get this into a temporary holding pen with a quick and dirty cheat. Oh, cow! Oh, I'm hearing a minecart rolling, which means there's some stuff going on underground here that I'm going to have to get into later. Oh. This isn't my normal 2-gate configuration, but it's going to keep the cow in this for now. And I can come back later and expand it. Now, this will also catch monsters coming off this shelf here, and spiders can get out. But you get a zombie or a skeleton in here, the sun comes up, they'll just die and drop stuff. As I go on building, I'll take and I will get it so we're not quite as bi-level, and I'll build a proper airlock set there. But for now, I have one cow. We're going to chop down a tree, and then I'm going to go into the house where it's safe because we're running up on 8:45, and not only did I just run out of axe, I am not going to conflict with Lords of the Night because everybody would leave my stream, including me. And the noon to nighttime music is coming in. So there we are for now. We are in Minecraft hardcore mode. Made another couple of days and some construction progress. Had a really close call, but survived anyway. And I'm not set up for another art project right at the moment, so we're gonna have a week or two of Minecraft before coming back to art projects, just to let you know. And thank you for stopping by. It has been a pleasure. And next week I'll have some pictures of the finish on the finished work in natural light on the owl. And I'll be working on getting that listed on eBay and hopefully get some help for that family. Again, thank you for stopping by. If you got creators you like that are doing good stuff and you're enjoying it, share that out. YouTube doesn't do anything for us. I'm not even monetized, but I appreciate an audience, and I get other people out there that I shill for when I can. Lords of the Night, not for kids, but the guys are fun. And you catch them, you say, and even get the world's worst birthday singing in there. It's like, my daughter just turned 4. Can we do a happy birthday? They'll do it. Terrible singing, but they'll do it family friendly for a little bit, and then go on. Lots of good news and opinion stuff in the show. Look for creators and shield them, share their stuff, because if you're not big media, YouTube just doesn't like you. But that's it for me for today. Thanks for stopping by, and have a wonderful night and a great weekend.